Hey, it's Dr. Dawn, and guess what? It's Monday night, and it's time for Mystical Monday. I took last week off, but I'm back tonight. I'm refreshed, I'm rejuvenated, I'm excited about tonight's topic. I hope that you guys are too. But before we get started, let's give everybody time to come on in that chat. So let's count it down. Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Dawn. Hi, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. It's Mystical Monday. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hey, everybody. I am back. Yes, it is Mystical Monday. I am feeling so good today. I had to take last Monday off because I needed to regroup, refresh, recalibrate, just everything. Okay. And so I want to first say, give my apologies for not giving you guys notice because you guys were running up on me like, something happened. People were like, Dr. Dawn, is everything okay? Is it all right? I was getting DMs, emails. You guys were like, what's going on? We didn't see Mystical Monday. And so I was like, woo, they missed me. Woo, okay. I might have to try that again. Skedaddle and slide on out and see what y'all do when I don't show up. But I want to say thank you. And I appreciate all of the concerns you guys had. But sometimes you got to just be still. You got to be still and you got to recalibrate and you got to reconnect. And that's what I had to do because I was floating on some energy that just wasn't aligned and wasn't feeling right. So I didn't want to come on here and share that with you guys because guess what? Energy just continues to move on. If you spread it in the wrong way, it'll hit other people as it's hitting you. And I didn't want to share this energy with you guys, so I had to recalibrate. I had to get myself together. Look at y'all in the comments. Thank you. Y'all say you happy I'm back. Thank you. Ooh, y'all say I look so pretty. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's amazing what a little rest and sitting still will do for you. Yes, you were looking for me. Everyone needs a refresh. Thank you. Thank you. Look, Patricia said you was wondering what was going on. Yeah, God forbid Dawn misses a day, right? I can't miss a day, right? Ooh, y'all better stop. I've been going hard since the beginning of the year, and that's not like me. Usually I take a whole lot of breaks. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Happy to be here with you guys too. Look at y'all coming on in this chat. Y'all just came today to be nosy and see where I was last week. Look at y'all. Look at all these people coming in. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Um, okay. So let me first start by telling you guys we're getting ready to move into the spring equinox tomorrow. We know Aries season is here. We know that every time we move into these new equinoxes, we're moving into some new cycles. And so I could tell last week I was closing out a cycle. That's why my energy was off. My alignment wasn't good. If I'm not aligned and good, like I just told you guys a few minutes ago, I'm not going to come on here to be with you guys just to get clicks, likes, and to get another video uploaded. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to step back and get it together. And so I had to get it together because I felt myself not just off-centered, but when it came to working with my clients, I could see projections in my clients of where I was energetically. Okay. So before we get into tonight's topic, which is chosen ones don't have it easy, because we're gonna get into it because people think once they realize they're chosen one, it gets real easy or it gets good. And it gets quite the contrary when that happens. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about how I could tell when I was off, well, not off center, but when I was getting projections in terms of where I was in my reality. Okay. Because this is going to help you guys too. So when you're going through this process, as we're going to review tonight, some of the stages of spiritual awakening, when you get to the point where you are starting to manifest like crazy, I mean, not big things, but everything is a manifestation. Every thought, every, thing you come in contact with, and if you're not careful, these manifestations could work for you or against you. Okay? That's when you get to a certain point in your awakening. So last week, I realized I was manifesting like crazy. Not intentional manifestations, because I know y'all thinking, girl, did you play the lottery? No, not intentional ones, but just subconscious ones that were popping up in my awareness. Okay. So I last week, I'm gonna give you an example. Last week, I had my husband and I have a running joke. Like I've been with him for a long time, like 30 years. And when I first met him, we were dating. I used to tell him, I used to say, "Oh, if Boris Kojo come around, you can hang it up. I'm out of here. I'll leave you in 2.5 seconds if Boris Kojo comes around." And so I used to make jokes about getting with Boris Kojo if I ever got a chance. So I don't know. I think in the tabloids, I think it was a year or two ago, maybe last year, they were saying how his wife was kind of saying how their marriage, wasn't doing that great, and that people were speculating that they may break up or something. So my husband jokingly said, "Oh, you might get your shot, right?" Okay. So we were talking last week, and I saw something came on a movie or something that had Boris Kojo in it. And he said, "Oh, look, the universe is showing you Boris is coming back into your energy field." And I said, "See, you playing." I said, "But I said, I was young then when I said that." I said, "But I wouldn't be opposed to one of them, what they call them, polyamorous or whatever, when it's three people in a relationship." I said, "It could be me, you, and him." Now it can't be me, you, and another woman. We're not doing that. That's not what we're doing over here. But if Boris Kojo come in the picture there, we can make some accommodations. It could be all three of us. And so we jokingly laughed about that. Now remember, y'all, I'm talking about, and I think the term is polyamorous relationship. If it ain't, y'all correct me over there in the chat. So last week, y'all, I got three clients in polyamorous relationships. Y'all get into this. And they were Black women who were in polyamorous relationships. Now I'm going to tell y'all my naivete when it comes to polyamorous. I knew it existed, but I just didn't know it existed for us, like the Black community. I didn't know we do that. I didn't know that was something we were doing now. Okay. And so when they came last week, I was going, scratching my head like, now y'all know there ain't nothing a coincidence. Nothing comes into your reality without you creating it and putting it in your reality. Okay. So I had these sessions with these three young ladies on separate days, of course, but I was sharing with them kind of the joke that I had with my husband and how it's manifesting in my reality through them. Because your reality is projections of what you're holding in subconsciously. Always remember that. I don't care if you're joking or if you're not joking. Remember, the universe don't know the difference. The universe just knows the energy and the signal you're sending out. So I was sending out that signal, not intentionally, but that I was jokingly talking about a polyamorous relationship. So the universe said, "Okay, you know what? Boop, we're gonna bring it right into your awareness." Okay. So I had things like that happening all last week. I would say something, and then here comes something like to bring it to my awareness. And I said, "Woo, wait a minute now. You can look at this in one or two ways. It could be a good thing, or it could be a not so good thing if you're not intentionally doing it, you guys. You bringing in stuff that you're not um setting the intention to bring to you. So when that happens, you got to pull it back. You got to pull it back for a second because you got to get recalibrated and get aligned, because we want to be in manifestation mode. We do want to be in manifestation mode, but we want to be in it so that we can co-create and bring in things intentionally, not the stuff we don't want. All right. That's why the push right now, everybody's saying be mindful of your thoughts, because your thoughts create your reality. Don't think about what you don't want. Think about what you do want, because what you do want is coming into your reality in full force, whether you're trying to or not, as you see with my example. Okay. So I had to sit down and make sure I had all my energies aligned where it needed to be aligned so that it can go where it needed to go, so that I can pull in what I needed to pull in. Because, see, I gave y'all one example. I was getting a lot more that I didn't want into my reality. And I said, "Oh, no, 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 no. Let me step back. let me not go on this mystical Monday because I don't want to project anything out to you guys in the collective from me. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that we're going to get to that part in the stage of spiritual awakening where this comes about. So you guys can be in an awareness when things start happening, and you may have thought it or you may have jokingly spoke about it. And here it is, because it's happening. It's happening, and it's happening now in full force. Your thoughts are very, 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 very important. Okay. So look, when y'all saw that title and I said chosen ones don't have it easy, I bet y'all was like, ooh, say it again for the people in the back. Y'all know that once you come to the awareness that you are a chosen one, it don't look, the roses and the sunshine and the rainbows don't just start showing, right? And if they do, they show up, but then they go away for a little bit, right? Because then it's time to get to work. So what I want to do tonight, before I start telling you about how easy we don't have it, okay, because I'm a chosen one, and I can say that confidently now. It took me a long time to actually say the phrase chosen one, because I didn't want to use that in the beginning of my journey, because I said that's not fair. I don't want anybody to feel left out. I don't want anybody to feel like they are not chosen. That's not right. That's contributing to the systematic programming that we've had as it relates to race and gender and socioeconomic status. So I said, I'm not using the word chosen one. And then my spirit guide said, but Dawn, all of you are chosen ones. You just have only but to awaken to that reality. And then I said, I guess you're right. We are all chosen. We are all chosen. It's whether or not you awaken to the reality that you are a chosen one. And so I said, okay, I'm getting ready to start saying chosen one. So then when I start saying chosen one, like y'all, I did a post last week that done went crazy over there on TikTok, where I told you all, I said, look, if you are an awakened chosen one, because remember what my spirit guy said, we all chosen ones, but we all ain't awakened to it. So I did the video and said, if you're an awakened chosen one, you're not going to be able to work no 9-to-5 job, because it's not going to align with the truth of who you are. We weren't created to work 40 hours a week, five days a week. We weren't created to do that. That's man-made. That's systematic. And you're going to start breaking away from that. So I did the whole video on that last week. Y'all, I didn't realize that video was going to get as many hits, comments, all that as it did. Over there on TikTok, I think it's on 8,000 views and hundreds of comments. And I'm trying to answer everybody's comments, as well as Instagram. Instagram, I think, is at 4,000 views and it's hundreds of comments. So I'm trying to answer the comments because I didn't expect the collective to respond as they did. But as I was responding to the comments, it helped me to realize, oh, what I need to talk about tonight, because people were saying, that ever popular question, how do I know if I'm a chosen? How do I know if I'm a star seed? How do I know if I'm going through my spiritual awakening? Y'all know them questions, them ones that some of you have been there, done that, and then some of you are still going through it and you still trying to clear it and clarify it in your head, what's exactly happening and why. So we're going to take a little bit of a refresher tonight, because we're going to go through this, because I want all of you to understand, no matter where you are in your journey and your awareness, information hits differently when you hear it based on your new place of awareness. So we know on social media, everybody's always putting up these darn signs of spiritual awakening or stages of spiritual awakening. Y'all know, y'all seen them. You see them all the time. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it based on the version I put together based on my experience and what I would like to share with you in terms of the spiritual stages of spiritual awakening. And we're going to start there, okay? Before we get into the whole chosen one thing, let's make sure we're clear on that. Wait, let me get Kimberly's comment first. Kimberly says, my spirit guide corrected me and said, chosen was done by me before coming here. I chose to awaken at such a time as this. Beautiful. I love it, Kimberly. Love it, love it, love it. So that way, there's no stigma attached to chosen one. It just isn't. But it took me growth to realize and connect to and align with that, so I could speak it more freely, okay? Which I'm glad I did, because as I said, the comments and the questions were off the hook. Okay, so let's get into these stages of spiritual awakening. So number one, We know usually as it relates to awakening to your spiritual journey, it usually is a result of experiencing a triggering event. Okay, this triggering event we know can come through job loss, it can come through death, it can come through divorce, it can come through health issues, it could come through relocating, it could come through a whole lot of things. But for me, it was death. Okay, and I'm gonna let me see if I can maybe. Well, no, I don't want to combine them. I'm just going to keep them separate. And so when you experience this triggering event, I know that this sounds crazy, but don't panic. Don't panic. Take a deep breath. Because in that moment, okay, as I said, mine was through death. It took me about 4 deaths in to realize, wait a minute, now something's going on because these people can't just be dying like this. And then these are close people to me. These ain't no distant second, third cousins once removed. These are close people dying. So you start to realize, wait a minute, something's happening. Okay. So right now, some people are having these triggering events, and of course, they're not aware of it. They just feel like life is dealing them a bad blow. Okay. So that's the beginning, right? That's our first awakening. We start experiencing a triggering event that's going to kind of maybe get us sort of a little bit in an awareness of some sort. Okay. Now, next, we start to have these perspectives about life. Our perspective on life starts to shift. So, as I said in myself, I experienced a lot of deaths of very close family members. So then I started questioning life as a whole. What the heck is going on? Why are we here? Why are these people dying? Where are they going? Why are they going at the same time? I started questioning. Here it comes. I'm starting to look at the perspective on life as a whole to see why this is happening. Now, I'm using death. You guys could be using divorce, job loss, health issues, whatever. You start questioning when it feels like it's getting bad, right? Now, just think about it. You couldn't have this spiritual awakening if everything was great. If everything was great, you want to keep it great, right? So it'd be no need to have an awakening. So that's why these things are perceived as bad or not good, because we don't want them to happen, but they happen to what? Trigger our awareness. All right. So we start to have these life perspectives next, changes in life perspectives. All right. Next, you start to experience the dark night of the soul. Y'all know that dark night of the soul. Who done been through it? Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Dark night, dark night, dark night. Where you going, oh my gosh, why do I feel like this? Why am I feeling depressed? Why does the world seem so cold to me? Why does it seem like everybody doesn't like me? Why does it seem like I'm giving and giving and giving and nobody's giving me? You know, we go through that dark night. And so we go, why? And then guess what? We got to start surrendering. We got to learn how to surrender so we can get through the healing. That dark night of the soul. Now, look, people used to ask me all the time, how long does it last? However long it takes. How about that? How long does it last? However long it takes. It took me about one, two, I'm gonna say about 3 years. I was in that dark night of the soul and didn't even realize it until I got ooh wee over 200 pounds. Then I realized something ain't right. I'm putting on all this weight. I'm getting closer to this food. Like what's happening? It took me a while to realize and to understand I was cleansing. I was healing. I was bringing up to the surface a lot of suppressed stuff that I just pushed down and thought I forgot about or tried to forget about. No, no, no. That dark night of the soul must happen in your spiritual awakening because that's the crux of it, you guys. That's the foundation of the spiritual awakening. It's like, okay, you're there, you're on earth, you've had experiences. How have these experiences affected you? What have they done to your soul, your God self soul, your light, the lightness of who you are? What have these things done to you that you've experienced that have caused you to now go dark? So now you got to look at what caused you to get this darkness inside of you. That's okay. We love darkness. That's right, we do. Darkness brings way to the light. So we love it. We love when we go dark. So when you're in your spiritual awakening, you're going to go through that dark night of the soul next, okay? It's okay if some of y'all still in it. Ride it out. Ride it out. You're going to get through it and enjoy it. I know that sounds crazy, y'all, but enjoy it. I look back now on my dark night of soul and I say, "Oh, I let a lot of stuff kind of get to me, hold me, in stagnation that I didn't need to." I mean, it's easy now looking back, but just go on through it, y'all. Go on through it. Okay. Next, after you go through that dark night of the soul, you getting ready to do what? You getting ready to go into isolation. You got to go into isolation. You got to go into hermit mode. You got to get into yourself because you got to get to a place where you start to really let this all sink in and get your connection now to the divine. The divine can't connect with you when you on the go, when you out and about, when you dibbling and dabbling, and everything that has caused you to get to this dark night of the soul, to this part, this dark light of the soul in your life. So we got to be still. We got to isolate. We got to pull back from people. We got to pull back from places. We got to pull back from things that we've been doing because we got to isolate so we can expand what? Our intuition and our gifts. We got to get into an awareness of our intuition and our gifts. What's Dr. Dawn's middle name? Intuition, Dr. Intuition Dawn. Girl, come on, that's my name because intuition. I told y'all the dark night of the soul was the foundation. The intuition is right there with it. Okay, because your intuition is going to activate and say, "Hey, guess what? It's okay. You're going through this. It's all planned. It's all part of the process. Let's help get you into an awareness so that you can have that deep internal connection and you can get stronger." And then I'm going to tell you a little bit something about these gifts that you have as a light being, as a being of light. So you isolate so you can connect with your intuition and your gifts. Now, during this time, here we go, y'all. This is where them synchronicities come in. This is where them dreams come in. This is where them daggone numbers come in. Y'all know when y'all start seeing them repeated numbers. This is where you may have them paranormal experiences like I did. I had some paranormal activity, some stuff was happening. But this is when I isolated during the time of isolation because you are still enough and you are excluded or secluded enough from your normal routine so that now some spiritual phenomena can start happening to really trigger your awareness and connection. Now, during this phase of isolation and expansion, okay, this is where sometimes now, I don't know, it's different for everybody, but during this time, I was coming across not just the numbers and having these dreams that were vivid and synchronicities were very apparent during this time. Um, but I started really questioning religion during this time because you have to because you're experiencing all this paranormal, supernatural, spiritual stuff. So now is where you get into your religious programming usually, whatever that may be for you. So this is the time where you start going through that. You start going, well, wait a minute, how does these numbers connect with scriptures that I've read? Or am I supposed to be looking at these numbers and do they mean stuff and where are they coming from? Are they demonic or are they angelic or are they who's giving them to me? Who's showing me that you go through all this when you start to get into isolation? You got to get into isolation and then you got to start listening to your intuition and following the guidance during this time of spiritual awakening. Okay. All right. So we're isolated. We're tapping into our intuition. So now we're getting more into the intuitive part. So now our gifts are starting to kind of spontaneously um, come into play. We don't realize it though. Some of us do, but a lot of us don't. And so you start to feel more connected spiritually because you're going to wait a minute. I'm seeing visions sometimes, or I think I'm hearing some things now, or I'm starting to feel things when certain people come around, and all this stuff is happening. We're not aware of our spiritual gifts and our clairs, as we call them, our clairaudient, clairvoyance, our claircognizance, our clairsentience, all of our clairs that are attached to our spiritual gifts. We don't know the names of this stuff yet during this time, but we know we're feeling these things kind of happen in our bodies during our spiritual awakening at this time. Okay. So we're doing this. And so now we start to get the big head a little bit. Okay. At least I know I did. when all this stuff started happening to me, I was like, boom. I'm like, Jesus, baby, I could probably walk on water. Go run some water and let me walk on it. Because guess what? I can see the stuff, the future. I can see what's coming. I can like get like information about people when they come around me. I'm starting to get like messages from somewhere. And oh, I'm starting to like feel things more as it relates to energy that doesn't align with me. I'm getting superpowers. I must be a superhero of some sort that has come to the planet to help. You start getting all these things in your head because you're starting to be able to do and realize things you never realized in your sleep state. Okay. So then you start smelling yourself. You really think you are the one. You think you are the special one. You think you are Jesus reincarnated. You think he is you. You are him. Well, you kind of are, but I digress. You start to think you're special and nobody else has this ability. Y'all know y'all do. Some of y'all still do think you are the one, the not the chosen one, but the only one. You ain't. So stop. Don't even do that to yourself. Stop. Don't give yourself that big head and think, oh, no, 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 no. But during this phase of awakening, you feel as if you are, right? So then you start to keep it a secret because you're like, I can't tell everybody because if I tell everybody, then people gonna be, looking at me like I'm crazy. So I'm gonna keep it a secret while I'm developing my powers and my gifts. Okay. So during this time of spiritual awakening, you start to develop your intuitive gifts and you start to feel more confident and eager to learn more. This is where you're like a sponge. Y'all know what y'all do. Y'all go on Google, y'all Googling and on YouTube 24/7 when you learn or come across a new spiritual concept and you immerse yourself in it, right? You start reading, you start learning, you start following people, you start seeking a mentor because now you're getting into it, right? You're like, oh, something's happening to me. I don't know if it's happening to anybody else. I think I'm special. I need a mentor. I need somebody to guide me. I need somebody to assist me. Where let me see who I can get. Let me look. Well, I didn't get that fortunate. I never got a mentor, but I understand why now. Because this is what I said, and this was part of my contract that I set up before I came here. When I started awakening and getting this awareness of these gifts and abilities, I said, I want to be taught by you, God. I want you to work directly with me so that I know that the information that I'm getting is 100% of you. I don't want to go through a man. I'm not going through a pastor, and I meant not man just by male. I mean male, female. I mean human. I don't want to go through none of them because I want to go directly to the source. This is what I said because I knew throughout my religious journey, baby, I done been through some different denominations, and I wasn't too impressed with that. So I didn't want another human to walk me through this. I wanted to go directly to God. And that was in my contract. That was in my contract, you guys. So that's what happened. I started getting guided. Okay. During this time of awakening, I started getting guided to information on the internet, or I would programs that were coming on television that were aligned with where I was and my awareness would start to show up on the listings of what's coming on. And I would, be directed to. So I started getting guided and learning that way, never from a human. Now, I was guided to courses after I had completed all of my awareness and I'm going to say training in the spiritual realm because my spirit team wanted to confirm for me, see what you learned was accurate and you didn't, pursue it through traditional means. So when I got to the point where I wanted to get certified in intuitive guidance and I went to the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, I knew all of that. And my teachers in my class were like, oh my gosh, this is like second nature for you. And this is, well, it was because I had already studied. I had already studied in the spiritual realm. Thank you so much, Hutch, for the donation. I'm hold that question for 1 second. I'm going to get to it as soon as I finish this sentence. And so I realized I was led to take that course so that I could get confirmation that what I was receiving in the spiritual realm was correct. Now, do you see why I had to get that confirmation that way? Because look what I do for a living, y'all. They had to show me through the training I was getting, stand confident in the information you're receiving, the downloads you're receiving, the guidance you're receiving, because it is correct, because it is the same information that was taught to you and shown to you in this course. Now, why did they have to confirm that? Because y'all, how could I sit in them sessions with you guys and deliver messages from your spirit guides without being confident in what I'm hearing? So my journey had to roll out that way, the way that it did. Okay. And so that was the next part of my spiritual journey, which was to get more confident and eager to learn and to get guidance, not necessarily from a human mentor, not from a human mentor, but from the source. Okay, now I'm getting to you, Hutch. Hutch says, we agreed to connect at this time before we incarnated, IAW or contract. Absolutely, absolutely. You guys have a lot in your contract. You have a lot of when you're going to connect, where you're going to connect, who's going to assist you when you need assistance with connecting. Like all of that is pre-written. It's all in your blueprint, all in your life's blueprint. And a lot of times you will feel it or it'll resonate with you, because when you come in contact with the information or the people or the sources, you feel it. It's not even a doubt in your mind that you're supposed to have made that connection, because it resonates so loudly with you and you can feel the peace. It's not a question. It's not a question that you feel about it. You can feel the connection. Okay. So look, so next, as you are going through your awakening, okay, next thing, after we kind of feel more confident and we're eager to learn more and we're getting all this information, you become to the point where this is where you start asking yourself. You get an awareness probably around this time of the whole chosen one, the star seed thing. You know, you're going, am I star seed? Am I a chosen one? Because you at this point are coming across those terms based on how you're moving along this trajectory and how your frequency is now attracting this type of information. So here we go. I went through that. I'm like, okay, I had no knowledge up until this point of star seeds, chosen, none of that. No, I didn't know any of that. Okay, that came way in the stages of awakening for me. So here I am using my abilities, not for profit or not in the public. I'm just doing it on my own with myself, my family, day-to-day things. And then I come across this star seed thing. Now that changed the whole game. Now, remember, I told y'all I thought I was the next thing since Jesus. I said, I'm Jesus reincarnated. I'm coming. He's in me. I'm a woman. He's incarnated. I can do everything Jesus can do. You give me some water, I maybe can turn it to wine, y'all. I thought I could do that. I thought I could do that because that's how confident I had gotten with all of my abilities. And so when I saw the whole star seed thing, I said, wait a minute, wait. What you talking about, an alien? Like what? Huh? So see, look, my team said, okay, now she ready. She ready for this part of the awakening. Let's really get her into it. Let's get her into an awareness. That's the whole uniform you wearing. That ain't what you look like. That ain't who you are. Y'all, that was mind boggling to me. That was when you get to that point of the awareness. Oh, I may be spoiling it for some people. Uh-oh, spoiler alert. When you get to that point in the awareness about the alien thing, everybody can't take that part. And so you're going to find in this spiritual community, some people don't do that alien thing. They gonna take their awakening up until that point where I just left off at with y'all, where you can realize you're clairvoyant, you're clairsentient, you're clairaudient. You can, like, people do that. They'll take that part. But when you get into, oh, I'm a star seed, I'm from Pleiades, and I've been in the Orion's belt. You start talking about all that. That's all. Some people don't. It doesn't connect. So that's a whole nother group for some people. They don't even associate that part with the awakening because that's not where they are in their awakening. Get ready for that. Get ready for that. So I awakened to that part of my journey. So then I start, well, what kind of star seed am I? So then I start going into that. You start digging and it starts revealing itself. And then I said, okay, I'm an indigo. All right. And what does that mean? And my team kept saying, okay, it's aligned with what you came there to do. Let's get into it. Let's learn why there, and why you've incarnated there from the higher dimensional realms, and what you're going to be doing. Now, the term chosen one, not in my awareness at this point, you guys. I'm still doing star seed and star seed only. I ain't doing no chosen one. That's not even where I am. Okay. So in this part of the awakening, you start getting now into trying to figure out exactly, for the lack of a better term, what category you fall in. Y'all know, you got to know, am I star seed? Am I a light worker? Am I chosen one? It's all the words, the new age terminology starts coming out, and then you start trying to figure out where you fall. Am I a witch? You go, what am I at that point? So then you start digging deeper now, because now you're open to life beyond being a human. And now you're trying to see what your particular soul life um, consists of. And so doing you start doing this deep dive into all of these different paradigms that come with it. Okay. So in this part of your awareness, you're going very deep. You're going now beyond the earth. You're going now into your galactical connection and origin, and how it's going to tie into what you came here to do. Okay. And then finally, in your stage of spiritual awakening, you become one with your higher self, and then you start manifesting like crazy. Who said they was doing that last week? I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even trying. Okay. So those are the stages of spiritual awakening according to Dr. Dawn. Now you gonna go on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you'll see everybody doing their own list based on their experience and how things rolled out for them. Okay. Based on my experience, that's how I rolled out for me. Everybody's is going to be different. I'm giving you guys mine as maybe a point of reference. Maybe some things are similar, maybe they're not, but just to let you know, it's okay. Like, do how yours rolls out, because look, your awakening is usually tied into what you came here to do. How you awaken, when you awaken, and actually everything that happens to roll it out is in direct alignment with what you are there to provide as a service to the planet. Okay. All right. So we got through that. Now we all awakened now, right? We went through the stages of awakening. We woke, as they say. Okay. Now, are we a chosen one? Let's see who's a chosen one. Because look, now you get into awareness like, oh, am I a chosen one? I got to be a chosen one, baby, because I could do all this and I could do all that. And I know I'm a chosen one. You get excited. You're like, okay, I'm receiving signs, synchronicities from a divine power. A higher being is communicating with me. Like, it's God, it's source, it's all these other higher beings. Like, yes, I'm a chosen one. And you get excited. You start wearing that badge of honor, honey. You be on TikTok talking about, are you a chosen one? I am. How do I know I'm a chosen one? And you get all excited. You sometimes you smell yourself. Sometimes you do, because they do. It's a lot of judgment when people get to a certain place of awareness. They start the judgment a little bit, but it's okay. Let them have it, because y'all gonna do it too, because you're gonna feel good. You're gonna start to feel good because you are emerging out of this human self. Okay. So, all right. So we chosen ones. How do we know we chosen ones? Right? That's the question. So, you have something now to offer the world. You don't went through this awakening process. Okay, wait a minute. I didn't go through this for nothing. I got something that I came here to do. I don't know what it is, but I got something I came here to do. That was me. When I awakened, I told my husband, I said, I'm here. I'm supposed to give everybody on earth. I'm going to make it where everybody on earth is a millionaire. So we can get rid of poverty. We can get rid of the class system. We can get rid of all that. My husband's like, you can't do that. I said, what you mean I can't do that? He was like, because it's designed to where, if we all made the same, then the value of the dollar would go down. Something he was trying to tell me, right? I wasn't listening to him. I said, no, I'm here to get rid of that whole thought process. No more money, no more classes, no more whatever. He was like, okay, girl, like, you go ahead, you do that. Okay. Because this is what you're thinking. You're thinking huge, right? Your purpose is big because you feel like you're the superhero. So the first thing you do to help you realize you're a chosen one is you feel like you came here to do something, and you came here to do something big. That's what it feels like, right? Okay. The next way you know that you're a chosen one is because you start seeking knowledge. Okay. Deeper knowledge. Now, I told y'all when you were in your spiritual awakening, you were getting knowledge there too. You wanted to know what repeated numbers were. You wanted to know about synchronicities. Like you were getting knowledge there too. But now you're starting to get knowledge from a place where you're seeking guidance and you want to learn more about belief systems and the rules that kind of govern society because you're feeling like this don't feel right to me no more. I don't fit in. This is not what I come from. I know this is not how it's supposed to be. You start seeking truth. See, that's the difference between being when you become a chosen one or you realize you're a chosen one from just awakening, you start seeking a lot of truth when you are a chosen one or when you know you're here to do something big. Okay. So then you start to realize, you say, you know what? I'm realizing now, because remember, in some respects, you're smelling yourself, but in other respects, you're coming into an awareness that the people around you are not quite like you, including your family. You go, wait a minute now. I'm realizing something new about these people. I don't think they ever liked me, but I never noticed it. Or maybe they do like me, but I don't have nothing in common with them. Like, wait a minute, we're very different. So then you start getting into that. Does my family play a role in my who I am? Like, is there some significance to that? Come on, chosen ones, chosen ones. You start to realize, wait a minute now, the family got something to do with this. Is this some kind of setup, or are we put with these people for a reason? Because you're at a higher frequency of awareness. You're vibrating higher. And so, because you don't mesh with these beings anymore, it's triggering your awareness of the game. And so, chosen ones start to realize this is a setup. This is a setup. This ain't right. This something's going on here. So you start to explore. And that's when you start learning about karma. And then you start learning about soul ties. And you start doing all that stuff because you start going through the people that you associated with and connected yourself to real deep. Okay. So when you do that, you a chosen one, baby, because chosen ones are into what, baby? They into cracking the code, changing the game. And so part of changing the game is you start to realize all of this. Okay. So then look, just like when you're awakened, when you're chosen one, you got to do something. You got to go into isolation again. You got to go into isolation, y'all, because now you're going into intentional isolation. Because look, you getting ready to request information. You know that you can get information from these higher sources. So now you're getting ready to get into downloads. You're getting ready to get into downloads, understand what they are, intentionally start to interact with the downloads more so you can get more clarity and more guidance and more focus. Okay. And so now this self discovery amps up. It starts to amp up, and then you know you're a chosen one, baby, because it's amping up. See, some people will stop at the awakening process and just say, oh, this is more than what I thought it was. And oh, I can tap into my intuition. That's great. It can help me. And they're content. They're happy with that. Baby, but them chosen ones got to keep digging. Chosen ones keep digging and they keep going because they know it's more to uncover, right? Okay, let's keep going. Another sign. You start to have an increased ability to kind of read people, and you can detect fake people a mile away. You can see them coming, you can feel them coming a mile away. Because now, look, you don't realize it, but you're getting into the business of being able to scan human beings. Y'all don't realize it. Chosen ones don't usually realize that in the development process, but you start learning how to scan these beings and these bodies. And you don't realize you're scanning, but you are, because you can literally say, oh, no, that person doesn't resonate with me. Or, oh, that energy is off. Or, oh, I like that energy. Or, oh, I love being around that person. Oh, you're scanning. You're doing a subconscious scan at this point, chosen ones, because look, it's part of your superpowers, if you will. And you're using them, but you don't realize you're using it, but you are. Okay. Come on, chosen ones. Now, look, this is where I tell you we don't have it easy. Because, first of all, you're going through all this. Okay. And on top of all of this, chosen ones, in order for you to really understand the essence of who you are and your capabilities and your connection, guess what? You're usually going to go through some struggles. You're going to go through some struggles. It's set up that way. It's set up that way. Now, we call them struggles here on earth, but that ain't what they are, baby. They setups. They setups and they're activation points. Okay. So the universe is going to bring you your gifts. Yay, I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. Woo hoo hoo. But now that you got these gifts, you got to prepare for your mission. You got to prepare for your mission. How do you prepare for your mission? You go through the hardest battles. You go through the hardest battles, okay? For me, it was the deaths, y'all. I had to go through the deaths, and then I had to go through mediumship, so to speak. I had to start connecting and hearing voices from beyond, baby. And them, that was one of my struggles. Now that's a struggle. It was a struggle for me because of how I had to endure it. Okay. So but the universe, don't look at it as a struggle. Look at it as you getting prepared for your mission. You're getting prepared, no matter what that struggle is. You're getting prepared for the mission. You say, Don, look, I got hit by a car and lost one of my legs. How I'm getting prepared for the mission? Because guess what? Your mission might be. Your mission might be creating DNA cells needed that can reproduce or create a new leg. Or you may be working with people who are amputees, that you are giving them uplifting guidance and assistance. You don't know. You don't know, but you're getting prepared for the mission. Now, I said that was extreme, y'all, so don't get scared. I just want to give you an extreme example, too. So these struggles are designed to help you realize you are strong and you can go through the hardest battles. Okay. The universe does not go easy on chosen ones. Let's clear that up right now. Does not happen because chosen ones need the wisdom and the strength to be able to guide others. How do you get the wisdom and the strength to guide others? You got to go through it. You got to go through it in some way, somehow. And you have to be able to attest to it. Okay. See, this is the part in Christianity. They had that part a little bit right when they say you got to go through the test. I had a testimony. Okay, that was actual factual. We'll take that. But you got to make sure that while you're going through it, you guys, and when you get through it, you got to understand you're going through this because you're making the path easier for those behind you. How are we doing that? The more awakened into where we are, we can assist those behind us, and they can go through these things with an awareness, and they can use them to their benefit as they're going through them. Look at this. I went through mine. I'm on these here YouTube, sharing it with you all. I'm going back. I'm sharing and giving back so that the next group knows it ain't a struggle. You can look at it with a different set of eyes, and you can go through it with a different energy and frequency. And so it's not considered a struggle. You may actually look at it as an activation. Okay. And so, look, another way you know that you're a chosen one is that you're going through these struggles and that you're starting to connect the struggles with your universal connection and what you're going to do here on the planet. All right. All right. Another way you know you're a chosen one, you love to help other people. You just want to be of service. Yeah. Yeah. And so I can remember on my journey, I I knew I wanted. I was in healthcare, so anybody who works in healthcare education, you already look. You just know you set up to be activated to be a chosen one because you're already in service. And so if you come in here in a field of service, a human field of service, most of the time you're lined up to awaken because being of service in that respect is the same as being of service to the collective. Okay, so if you like to assist or help others in any way, in any single way, you are more than likely a chosen one. Everybody on this planet don't want to be of service or help people. Y'all do know that, right? Mm-mm. That is not a common denominator here on the planet Earth. Not in the least bit. Not in the least bit. So if you're here to help others, another sign you're a chosen one. And now, the biggest thing to let you know that you are a chosen one, you have an inner knowing that you are here for something big. Every chosen one feels like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something. Then they get so antsy because they can't figure it out. They're like, I know it is. And you get frustrated because it's not revealing itself, but you know you're here for something big. All chosen ones know they're here for something big. You may not know what it is in that moment, but you know you're here for something big. Okay. All right. Now, I want you guys to understand being a chosen one. Okay. It's not like you get to stand out and stick your chest out and you're better than everybody else. That's not what it is. It's not what it is. You are an activated and aware being, okay, that is now navigating this planet with a different intentional purpose, okay, and plan as it relates to the evolution of the planet and your soul's evolution here during this time. Okay, let me get to some of these questions because, baby, you all have been chatting and chatting and chatting, and I have not been stopping because if I stop, I might forget. So I kept going. So let me go back. Natasha says she loves to hear my awakening process. Thank you. Angelica says, do you get all clairvoyant gifts before you learn about being an alien? No, 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 no. For me, it was activation, 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 activation. But you got to understand, all of my clairs were opening up because of what I'm doing now. See, I gotta have access to all of my clairs to be doing what I'm doing now. So that was kind of part of my process going through all of those things. But you don't have to. I work with people who, or I've had spiritual teachers as clients who are very connected and to the whole concept of the aliens, but are not very clairvoyant or not very clairaudient. They're clairsentient or claircognizant, so you don't have to have all of the clairs activated before you can learn about the alien. No, no, no. Thank you for bringing that up. Hutch says, can I speak about walk-ins again? I can, outside of this, because that is a whole nother conversation. Then Kimberly says, so true about the alien part. Right. It's always separate. A lot of people awaken, but the whole alien thing, that's so hard for people to connect to spiritual awakening. They don't tie those two together. But it's coming. I think that's going to be synonymous with it as we go, because more and more people are awakening to the alien concept and connection, and it's becoming more acceptable. So I think we're going to see that being more acceptable for the collective. Okay, Shakila says she's a star seed as well. Good. Kimberly says, I don't have any clue what to offer except to elevate my own frequency. And that may be what you're here to offer, Kimberly. Understand that some people are here to be the light. You may be here to be the light. No matter what you do, you're just being the light. You could be a gymnast, be the light. You can work at the grocery store, be the light. You can work in the clothing store, be the light. You could be the light. And that's not any different than what I'm doing. You just are focused more on shining the light. No big deal. That's why when people try to connect to why they're here, they keep thinking it's something they actually got to do, like I got to do Reiki, or I got to be a sound bowl healer, or I got to, be a psychic or a medium. I got to, like, no, you don't have to do those particular things. You can do what aligns with, your experience, no matter what that is. You may say, I came here to work in the food industry or something, and I want to be the light in the food industry. I want to grow healthy foods, or I want to go, like, it just, whatever aligns with what you came here to do. It doesn't have to be specific to what we've traditionally associated with spirituality. Oneness says synchronicity is the highest order of communication between the invisible field of energy you are connected to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tapping into the well of knowledge. None of my family are like me, the polar opposite. Haha. Very religious. You set that up that way. You probably set it up so then it could trigger your awareness quicker if everybody was very different from you. Yeah. It's a whole new, Kimberly says it's a whole new level when you realize that everyone else around you is still caught up in 3D of fitting in. Just fitting in consumes the collective of people who are asleep. Absolutely. She says, I used to. Oh, you used to. Okay, that was the end of it. I used to. Absolutely. And we have to get to a point as awakened ones, if you will, or chosen ones, that everybody's not going to awaken. There's going to come a time where people who are doing like what I'm doing now, like being spiritual teachers or working with divination or light codes or Reiki, whatever we're doing, we're not going to be doing it. We're going to get the orders to stop. It's going to say, okay, you did what you could, basically. Whoever's not awakened is not awakened. Now you must focus on yourselves and your individual experiences and missions outside of the collective. Okay. That's the part we're not really getting into. So during my time of being still, my spirit guide said, Dawn, that's great that you're an intuitive guide and you've chosen to come and to assist the collective in the way that you're assisting them now. But that ain't what we needed you to do. I mean, you can do that for the people, that's great. But ultimately, all of you came there just to be the light. We all came here just to be the light. But once we got here, we conformed to this human way of doing things, and we were like, okay, I'm gonna have a career, and I'm gonna be a intuitive guide, or I'm gonna be a spiritual coach, or I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get an income this way, and I'm gonna do. And they say, okay, do your spiritually based practice if that's what you guys want to do while you're there in your earthly experience. But just understand there's no need for that, because in the higher realms we don't do that. Like, there's no spiritual coaches and people assisting with increasing your frequency, because you don't have to, right? So at some point, as I just mentioned, this is going to be stopped and halted. All of this, what we're doing now to disseminate information and to do all of that, is going to be like, let the chips fall where they may, and let everybody kind of awaken in their own way, in their own time, in their own place. And the awakened ones in star seeds are going to be doing some other things. How about that? Just wait, you shall see. Um, Michelle says we get a lot of practice. Oh, I can't see that one. We get a lot of practice overcoming others' lower vibrational energy when it triggers ours. Yep, absolutely. As long as you're getting triggered, you know that there are still some things that need to be cleared. And that was one reason why I sat down last week, because I was getting triggered by some things. So I had to realign. Um, we are okay. Kimberly, sounds like you're an anchor. Be your authentic self. Aren't all, she says, aren't all humans chosen to bring light from their soul, being the unique human that they are? Yeah, you have no choice. In your truest form, you are light. Like, we only come here and not only forget that we are light, but we feel like we got to get back to the light. But you never left. We that's why when people say, I'm trying to raise my frequency, or I'm trying to increase my vibration, like, it's already increased. You're already that. You just need to be aware of it. That's it. There's no trying to it. But that comes with the way we interpret, and we've learned it. um Miria says, is that why in the store everybody speaks to me and I don't know them? At Cracker Barrel, the little kids are staring at me and watching me. A lot of times that's exactly what it is, because children see the light. Children see the light. And a lot of times our frequency will give off, if you will, it'll give off an energy of friendly, approachable, or love, and it kind of, it radiates, into our aura. And so people around you can feel that. And you can sometimes know where you're vibrating based on the responses, a lot of time, of those in your projected reality. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Michelle's just said, why do you say chosen? Girl, you missed the whole first part of this discussion, didn't you? I just went through the whole chosen, where that came from. You're gonna have to rewind and watch this again. But we went through the whole explanation of the concept of chosen, and how it doesn't mean that everybody or somebody is better than or higher than or specific than someone. It just means that you're awakened. Go back and watch it, rewind it, ma'am. You'll get all that. Okay. All right. So, in summary, okay, we realize that just because we go through the awakening process and we then go a little further, for those of us who go a little further, and we come into the awareness of the chosen one concept, doesn't mean life gets easy, doesn't mean you get a special badge of honor or you get special privileges. Means quite the opposite of that. Quite the opposite. So just be an awareness that once you step into the agreement that you are a chosen one, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. And for most of us now, you're either at the point where you're either trying to figure out what your mission is or you're in your mission right now. One of the two, one of the two. All right, questions. Questions. You guys have been a wonderful chat. You guys have been chatting it up tonight. Questions. Now, I want to share with you guys that um I do coaching. Coaching is a lot of what I do, but I've always offered detachment and release sessions, but now I'm doing it more than ever because now it's a little more than just spiritual coaching. A lot of people need spiritual coaching because they want to connect with their guides, kind of get some insight and awareness in terms of where they are on their journey. But more often than not, people are moving along that and they're like, okay, I now am recognizing that I got some things that are keeping me stagnant and not allowing me to move in the way that I like to move on my journey. I got to detach and release from this stuff because I'm ready to get to the essence of who I am. I'm going to take a break for you guys for a second, you guys, because I got to get some water. But I'm going to let you guys watch this while I'm gone. Whew, okay. I had to let that play. Sorry, you guys, I need a drink of water. But I wanted you guys to understand when we detach and release, because I didn't realize how important this was until I got midway through my journey. Okay. Just becoming aware of the things that are blocking you is not all it takes. You then have to move into, now that I'm aware, what's preventing me or keeping me from detaching. Some people have such a difficult time detaching. You will see them go through some type of psychotherapy kind of thing, hypnosis things. Some people need that to detach. Okay. You will have some people do past life regressions because they say, I need to go back and see how that's connected to where I am now. Maybe that'll help me detach. A lot of people have different things that they use to assist them with detaching because detaching is the biggest thing. It's what moves you into the place where you no longer attach emotion to those things that are blocking you. Okay. So I say that to say now I'm putting emphasis on that as one of my services. It used to be one that I offered way in the background. I used to offer the spiritual coaching at the forefront because I wanted to get everybody into the awareness, and now having done this for a couple of years, now my clients are moving past just the coaching. Now we're into detaching and releasing. So as you guys move, I move. That's why I now offer a promo code with it. Aries energy is what we're doing now because a lot of people are coming into that awareness as we're moving into the Aries energy tomorrow. That's gonna it's gonna do some things with our spring equinox. So if you feel as if you need detachment and release sessions or anything of the sort, make sure you go to my website, www.discoveringyourinnerlight.com. I will put that information down in the comments section of this for those of you watching the replay or watching tonight. I want to make sure I got that out because I'm always not good at remembering to tell you guys that. Okay. Let's see. Just Michelle, while you say we don't have it easy, don't you think that those who are not awake to the Christ consciousness have it worse because not knowing the truth can be so discouraging and miserable? Michelle, that's because you're in an awareness of the truth. If you ain't in the awareness of a truth and you think this is status quo, working every day, trying to save your coins so you can get a nice house and a nice car and, look your best and feel your best. Like if that's your norm and your reality and your matrix that you've grown up with and you are striving for that, you don't know otherwise. You see what I'm saying? You don't know that some of the experiences that you have are related to things that are trying to get you to be able to elevate further in a more easier structured way, if I should say that. Like the days of, how do I put this, trying hard are over. Because once you step into your awareness, right, you know that manifestation doesn't take the work that it takes when you're not in an awareness. But if you're not in awareness, you don't know that. Like you don't know any better. You see what I'm saying? So chosen ones don't have it easy because we know better. We know better. So it's harder for us because we're like, man, we get it. It's hard to realize you don't have it easy when you don't get it. um um, Boom. Okay, Barbara says boom. Speaking straight truth. Hutch says Arcturians are great spiritual teachers. Sure. I think all the beings are. All of them are. Because they all have something to share as it relates to our DNA structures and activations and soul journeys. So absolutely. Let's see. Michelle says complex PTSD is very difficult to recover from. Those trapped negative emotions that get triggered. If you say so, Michelle, I haven't had complex PTSD, so I can't speak from experience or having worked with anyone who had complex PTSD as a diagnosis. So if that's what you say, we're going to take it from for that. We're going to take it for that because any type of negative emotions that are quote unquote trapped, as you say, can be very difficult to clear. I don't even like to say that. I never go in. I don't even like to. I don't even want to confirm that. Let me take that out. I'm gonna take that out, Michelle, because that's going into it with a mindset that it's difficult to do. And then when you go into the difficult, it goes into the programming of PT. Like it's a whole thing. So I'm gonna value your opinion and your comment, Michelle. No right or wrong. Thank you for that. William, thank you for that. Hutch says, "Thank you, Dr. Dawn, for all you do. Thank you." Um, Michelle says she would have left the planet by now if it was not for learning the larger view of the consciousness. Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, if you would have left, you look at that as bad, right? I'm going to assume you look at that as bad if you left. If you left before learning or realizing the consciousness, I wouldn't look at it as bad. I would look at it like, oh, didn't finish and carry that out this time. Do it next time. See, it's all about everything is perspective, everything is like awareness, everything is like where you are and how you connect things based on your soul, your soul's journey and point of reference. Angelica says, thank you for being present with us today and sharing your light. Grateful to have found you. Thank you, Angelica. I'm glad you found me. Please click the like button, y'all. Give me some likes. Like. I appreciate it. And for those of you watching the replay, make sure you leave questions or comments. I love to hear from you guys because I love to respond to you guys. Okay. All right, y'all. This has been a night. This has been a night. But thank you guys for joining me. You guys have been wonderful, wonderful. Again, my information will be down in the comments section. You guys make sure you click like and thank you guys again for my new followers. Looks like I knew I was over 1,000, but we're moving along now, right? And I'm actually monetized now. Yay. So we'll see how that works. I don't know if I'll really see the monetization part until I get the views up, but okay, grateful for YouTube for now saying or allowing me to now be monetized due to you guys getting me to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. So much. All right. Until next time, you guys look out. Stay with me. If you don't follow me or subscribe to the channel. I got another show that I'm going to be doing, or that I am doing, called Spiritually Unhinged with my co-host, Iconic. We will be uploading a new episode this week. We haven't decided if we're going to start going live or not. We may, but I like that show because it's fresh. She's fresh. I love the difference in our ages, our experiences, and our perspectives. So y'all look out for that. Spiritually Unhinged. We talk about some pretty good topics in the spiritual community. Okay, so until next week, I will see you guys. Much love and gratitude. Good night.